Good evening, everyone. Hope you are all well. Welcome along to round 6 here at PGS, where we are here tonight in Baku at the street circuit that we all know and love to be, well, chaotic as hell. We're just waiting for actual qualifying to start. Or is there some other problem like that? I'm not sure, but welcome along. It is a sprint Sunday tonight. We do have, obviously, short qualifying as per usual, but we do have a 9-lap sprint ahead of a 26-lap Grand Prix. There we go. So qualifying has now started. A little bit of, I assume, connection issues for a couple of our drivers. Bring out the circuit map and let's see who is coming. Is anybody coming down the pit lane at the moment? Not as yet. But yes, welcome to PGS Tier 1, because we do have some Tier 1 action lined up for you tonight. Let me just pop that link into there as well. Throw in a wink emoji, and we've got, is that an Alpine? I do believe that is an Alpine. This is the other Alpine of the Bard Tsunami, hitting the wall through turn 2, as you do. One of many 90-degree corners at the start portion of this circuit. Of course, brought in 2016, I do believe. And then since then, it's been in most cases at least, it has been a must-watch event. Let's have a look. Araujo is now on track as well. But crucially, I've just realised, and I do want to check this before I make any prejudgments. Yeah, I don't see Zetany on their championship leader. Now that is going to be interesting. It's very much an opportunity for Araujo, his teammate, currently in second place, 1 point behind, going deep into 4, and possibly resetting to track. I'm not sure if that is allowed or not, but it's certainly an opportunity to increase, well, to create and then drive forward a championship advantage, which, considering this is race 6 and it is a sprint event as well, you know, I'm not sure there was much of a worse event that he could have missed, other than like the finale races down the end of the season. But here we go, on board with the Bard Tsunami. Let's go for a full lap into turn 1. You're braking from, you know, it's a 2-kilometre back straight, and no braking from 16 down into 1. Out of turn 2 again, another 90-degree left-hander into turn 3, braking at 205 into third gear, run a little bit wide, nicely done. Move back to the other side of the track into turn 4, a 90-degree right-hander for King here, and then down into turn 5, a much bigger radius, 90-degree, through into 6, then into turn 7, one of the slowest corners on this circuit. Turn 7, 8, 9 and 10, just like that, up the castle. 11 and 12, one of the narrowest sections, I reckon, possibly on an F1 circuit ever. Into 13, 14, and now the braking zone at 15, braking into third gear. Nicely done, and into turn 16. This exit is crucial because now you've got the long back straight through 17, the kink there, and then it's the left here, the right there at 18 and 19. Another kink here at 20, and that is, well, from here it's foot to the floor, pedal to the metal, whatever other synonyms you can think of. See what sort of base time Bard Tsunami can put in. It's a 141, 112. Not too bad of a lap, but we're looking on with Araujo at the moment, going up towards the castle section. We'll go on board, we'll turn off the telemetry. And he goes, ooh, now this is going to be interesting. Crashes out, going into the castle section, and he's going to be starting at the back of the grid. That's unfortunate for Araujo. That is not what we wanted, especially because he's going to be picking up points as well with, you know, just a standard sprint finish. Let's see who else is coming up to the line. Is that Vitor Gois? Yes, it is. He's not going to beat Bard Tsunami's time. It's a 42.9. So just under 2 seconds off the pace. Luke Bailey coming through the back straight. FFR Harry goes a 10th.5 down on Bard Tsunami, puts himself in second place. But here comes in the McLaren Luke Bailey. What time can he put in? It's a 41.442. Not my favourite football formation, but here we are. Puts himself into third place. And there's Silent going into the pit lane. Not quite happy with his lap. Tize Cuvero now coming down the back straight. Goes into fourth place, 41.973, exactly a second ahead of Vitor Gois. Bard Tsunami's got a five-place grid drop for a collision with Stan Polasek. So he's going to be, well, he's not going to be starting from pole position at the moment. It's looking to be Harry. Kubinson up to the line now to 41.965, so puts himself again in that lower midfield at the moment. We've still got plenty of drivers yet to cross the line. Markey is back. As Jakonka has also retired from the session, as has FFR Harry. Stan Polasek goes fastest, 41.0, despite whatever incident he had with the Bard Tsunami. Currently puts him on pole position. Fizz goes into third place, which is going to be second once Bard Tsunami's penalty is taken into account. Fizz, of course, is a replacement reserve at this moment. Somebody else currently on a lap. Jay Pinto runs deep into turn 7. I thought that was a castle section for a brief moment. Seemingly not. If anybody's got any questions that they want to pop in chat or anything like that on the stream, please feel free to do so. I do have it opened. So if you've got any questions, don't be afraid to ask. I don't bite, I promise. 18 drivers at the moment, 4 of which have retired, 2 of which are, well, 1 of which is championship contender Araujo, who crashed out going into the castle section, very much performing a Charles Leclerc-esque manoeuvre, which I know you're in a Ferrari, but you don't have to replicate everything that the Monegasque man does. Rocket Man through the kinks at the back straight. He's going to be starting another lap shortly. Let's go up to Jay Pinto. He's coming into the pit lane. He's on the left side, so I would imagine so. Yes, he is. Pit entry here is very difficult, but is pretty high octane, in my personal opinion. But again, I don't drive, so please don't take my word as gospel. The Fizz is also coming up to the line now. Is this another lap, or is this a pit lane? This is a pit lane lap. An in-lap, most people would say. But let's go on with Rocket Man out turn 4 into turn 3, into turn 4. Half a minute done already around the 6-kilometre circuit, or thereabouts, into 5-6. Slightly missing the apex there, going to lose a couple of moments of time. Into turn 7. Move to the very left side of the track. Nicely done. Could have ran a little bit, pardon me, wider on exit. Again, nicely done through the castle section. Very nicely done through the castle section. Wow. That is some precision there from the Haas through 13. A very unusual camera angle provided by the game. 14 and braking into 15. Taking that very nicely down the hill into braking at 16. I thought there was raindrops on there for a sec, but it's a very nice sunny day here in Azerbaijan, and then it is foot to the floor through 17. Kink at 18, right hand kink at 19. And then it is foot to the floor from here. Battery, DRS, anything you can muster to try and get yourself those extra couple of tenths of a second. Where does Rocket Man put himself? He puts himself in 10th place, slowest of the lot. 43.165. Couple of mistakes were made in that lap, so there's certainly space to improve. Little Mo has also just started a lap. Cubbinson goes into... no, he is already in 6th place. Is he going for another lap? Perhaps. He certainly looks to be trying, but I don't think he can pick up 4 tenths in the final sector. No, is he coming into the pit lane? Yeah, he is. Okay. Giggsy's also starting at the back of the grid. He's retired early. I'm not sure if that's an incident or something else. Little Mo going nicely in towards turn 7. There we go. And then in through the castle section, we'll go on board with the Alpha Tauri. Slightly slow going in, making sure that the car is straight and able go into there, but stays on the grey stuff. Doesn't look to be the fastest lap, I think, but then again, my driving ability is nowhere near what is required. 21.0 after 2 sectors. It's 20 seconds down this back straight, so we'll see how Little Mo handles it through that and that. That being 18 and 19. Final kink at 20. And then is foot to the floor. Fastest times of 40.053. He's coming into the pit lane now, so not happy with that lap time. It was a 44 going into that pit lane entry. So not quite where Little Mo would want. We know he's got quite a lot of pace, does the American, but here comes Silent. He's on a very good lap time and puts himself with the first lap of the 40s, so 49.34, currently on pole position ahead of Stan Polasek. And then once the Bard Tsunami's penalty 5th place grid drop is going to be factored in, the Fizz and FFR Harry are on 3 and 4, but Kuto is coming through turn 4 now. Trying to push himself further up, up the field. Currently hasn't set a time. But let's see, where is he in the championship? Let me open up the championship standings. Kuto currently in 14th place with 18 points after 5 events, one of those also being a sprint weekend. Level with Jaconko, who isn't going to be setting a lap time in this qualifying session. Through 15 goes Kuto. Nicely done out of the exit of 16, and then it is through threading the needle. Mo retiring from the session with no lap time, deciding to save his tyres for the sprint and then for the race for later. But here comes Kuto. He's going to be wanting to again push himself up for points for both the race and the sprint. Goes into 4th place. Nicely done. Going to be 3rd once Tsunami's penalties are kicked through. The Fizz half a tenth up after the first sector, but here he comes through this fast-paced second. Nicely done into there. And second sector triggers around about here to 16.2, half a second up on his personal best. This could be sort of a mid-40s time. That would be a brilliant lap time if he can make this work all the way to the end on board with the Ferrari. And he is a reserve at the moment, but I'm sure that at least if this pace continues the next season, he probably won't be a reserve for long. There's a 40.685, 6 tenths up on his personal best. It's a brilliant time from the Fizz at the moment on pole position. Let's see if anybody else is on a time. Cubbinson coming up to the castle, nicely done. Hugging the apex through 11 and through 12, running slightly wide, but you've got plenty of tarmac to do so. Into 13, the left-hander, 14, another left-hander, and 15, yet another left-hander. There's a lot of lefts around this circuit. Cubbinson after 2 sectors, he is at 0.8. That's 0.891. I thought I read that correctly. This could be an absolutely stellar lap time, put himself in the top 6, maybe even the top front row, if he can keep this pace going down the back straight. That's the final kink on that front straight. Here he comes, the Alfa Romeo up to the line. What sort of time can he put in? Is it going to be a pole position? No, not quite, but it's a front row at the moment, so it's an Alfa Romeo second row. And the difference is less than half a tenth, which is brilliant. But here comes Stan Polasek. He is on a Stormer. 10th up after the first sector. Let's see what Marquis can do. He's put in a 42-1 at the moment with 3 minutes left to go. Rocketman is also going to try and push himself further up the field. But if he can keep this up, he might even be able to crack the top 10. But we'll see what happens. David Vince, I think. I apologise if I'm reading that incorrectly. Invalidates his lap. Could still come out and go again should he want to. And I imagine that he very much would want to. Stan Polasek, half a second up after 2 sectors. This could be an absolutely brilliant lap if he can nail this final sector. It's very much about finding the shortest line to the finish, because there's no braking. You're going to have to find the shortest and fastest way through here. And here he comes up to the line. Is it going to be an Alfa Romeo pole position, or are they going to be kept off that front row? It's a pole position at the moment. It's a 45.23, puts him a tenth and a half up on the Fizz. Is the Fizz going to come out again? No, but Silent has. So he's going to be challenging for the pole position at the moment. A few more have come out as well. Rocketman goes to 12th place, ups his time by just under a quarter of a second. That's decent for the Haas. Is David Vince coming out? Oof. Maybe there's an Alpine running there. Is that him? I think it is. He's got just enough time to come out and go again should he want to. Because we've got quite a few drivers doing exactly that. Is that? No, it's not. Okay, I thought that was the Fizz coming out of the pit lane, but it's a little bit late for that now. So, the Fizz, Cubinson, Kuto, happy with their lap times. This man is not. He's come out again. It's a 41.442. There's plenty of time left on the table, as we can see. But here comes Tize Caveiro. Where's the pin? Oh, go away. There we go. I really need to turn off pings for that one. Anyway, up towards turn 5 and 6 goes Tize Caveiro. Again, we've seen his pace from last season. He's not quite been able to convert that into too many results. Clearly, the Tier 1 competition is very good in comparison to the lot on the tier below. Into the castle section, nicely done through 12. Good exit. Bully Bailey's a little bit further. He's not. That's a lie. A little bit further back into turn 15. The second sector triggers just before turn 16. He's half a second up. That might not even push him up a position. To be fair, it might get him closer, might save himself a top 10, but it wouldn't even really push him up a position. It's currently half a second just over between himself and Luke Bailey, the man currently behind him, on a lap. As 3, 2, 1, and that is the checker, so final laps are underway. Here comes Tize Caveiro, goes from 9th to 8th, so he does push himself up a singular position with that stellar time, but not enough to go further forward. Let's look on with Luke Bailey, half a second up after 2 sectors. Now this could be a decent couple of positions, could force himself up towards that front 4. Then it is foot to the floor through here. Can he force himself up to that top 4? He goes into 3rd. A brilliant time there for Luke Bailey, 48.85. And here comes Silent, 3/10 up after 2 sectors, fastest middle. Could he force himself up on that front row? It would be a brilliant result for him if he could. Silent, of course, is... Well, he's not part of the championship battle because he's 34 points adrift off of first and second, but he's certainly going to be wanting to make advantage of this because Zetany isn't here. Here comes Silent, goes to third place, ups by 10th and a half, so lost quite a lot of time in that final sector. Here comes the Marquis and Jay Pinto toe-to-toe with each other. We'll go on board with Jay Pinto through the kinks. Nicely done through there, going through them in 7th gear. See what sort of time you can put in. David Vinci! Oh my word, from last to first, hell of a lap time. And where does Pinto go? He goes into 12th place. I don't think Marquis improved by much, but David Vinci, hello! That came out of nowhere. Wow. Well, if that is anything to go by, I tell you what, I can't wait for the race. 10 drivers split by a second and 5-place grid drop for the Bard Tsunami. And then it is Hungary and the Czech Republic on the front row. David Vinci ahead of Stan Polasek. We're going to have a 9-lap sprint after in a couple of minutes' time. So be sure not to go anywhere because we've got a half-distance race after that, so stay tuned. Oh, that was a good qualifying session. That pole position lap came absolutely out of nowhere. But it is brilliant to see. Also worth remembering that David Vinci has no points on the board at the moment. He's currently 20th and dead last. As of the Italian Grand Prix last week, which is a very, very good race. From my perspective at least. Anyway, right, we've got a couple of minutes of time just to chill, relax, get everything set for the drivers. As I should mention again, Zetany isn't here. Zetany is championship leader. So it would be... So Araujo has got an absolute prime opportunity to pick up some points on his teammate. Which again, we are hitting the midpoint after this race. A lot of momentum, pardon me, is going to be carried forward from this race. It's going to be absolutely crucial for these guys to get this right from each of their own perspectives. And Baku again, Baku's very easy to overtake on. There's plenty of spaces where you can do exactly that. Turn 1, turn 2, pretty much any corner is an overtaking spot around Baku, and that's very much emphasised in the world of esports. Getting my whiteboard out, because of course we're not going to get a points update after the sprint, but here we go. 9 laps ahead of the drivers for the Baku sprint, and it's lights out and away we go. It's a very good start for David Vinci. There's some movement further back alongside. Doesn't look to be a good start for Stan Polasek. He's got swarmed 3 wide going into turn 1. That's silent Stan Polasek, and oh my god, the Fizz has had an incident, and he's going to be dropped to the very back. Let's look further up. It's still 2 abreast for certain parts, as FFR Harry losing a couple of positions to Luke Bailey and AXV Kuto. Is he going to try and regain those exact positions? It's side by side further back. Jakonka and Vitor Goyce, who's going to get ahead into turn 2. Ooh, it's very, very close, but Marky's got the outside line. He's going to make that work. And silent ahead of Marky as well. So, ooh, hello. There's lots of cars going deep. That is silent. And Harry and Rocketman going deep into turn 4. A lot of resetting on track. I'm not 100% sure what that's about, but my word, what a first couple of corners. Whew. Good grief. It's currently a virtual safety car. I don't think the safety car's actually going to come out, at least not for now. As these guys head through the capital section for the first time in this race under VSC. It is David Vinci, Stan Polasek, Kubinson 1, 2, 3. Bailey, Luke Bailey in 4th, Kuto in 5th, Marky in 6th. Then Bard Tsunami has basically regained his grid penalty position. His virtual safety car is still under use. Some Americans, I know, would say full course caution, but this is virtual safety car, slightly different. I'm going to assume we're getting ready to go any time soon. So we'll look on board with this pack further back, and there we go, green, green, green. So we are back underway, and there's already moves with Jakonka and Tsunami. And it's 2:09.5 lap time is the best that we got. I think Bard Tsunami is here in AI because he's losing quite a few positions. There's contact there with the front wing of J Pinto and the rear wing of the rear tyre of Jakonka. Bard Tsunami, is he under AI? Possibly. Doesn't look to be all that clear, as in he's literally a ghost, is what I mean. Let's move further up. The Alfa Romeos are back end sliding for Stan Polasak. I know he's Czech. Vitor Gois is dropping down quite a few positions. Must have been overtaken by Araujo, who's already back up to 9th place. As side by side with goes Giggs with Vitor Gois. He's lost quite a few positions over the past couple of corners. Unfortunate situation for the Williams, who's brought up from Tier 2 just last week. Mercedes swapping position, Jakonka and Marquis. Jakonka also not really in that, not in that championship fight, but Marquis is. He's 1 point ahead, behind Silent, who is very off the pace in general, because he has had to pit for a fresh set of tyres and possibly a new front wing due to that incident in at turn 9. Turn 4. What am I on about? Let's look on, it's Giggs versus Bard Tsunami. Normally you don't see cars going literally into each other, but this is PGS, anything can happen, and that's exactly what has happened. DRS again not in use until I imagine this lap, and there we go. We've just seen the DRS flag show for a brief moment. David Vinci fastest lap 43.559, as that is Vitor Gois getting past the Bard Tsunami. Is he? Yes, he is. Great exit out of turn 1. Even these AI have a lot of pace. But let's look further up. The Alphas are still nose to tail as they head into turn 4 for the third time in this sprint race. Rocket Man has come into the pit lane. Fresh set of tyres. Puts on a medium tyre, which 7 laps around here, you can still very easily use the softs. Tyre wear isn't as much of an issue here as it would be in other tracks. And you need the grip because, again, it is a full street circuit, so there's not going to be as much grip on the tyres normally anyway. Vitor Gois and Giggs have finally got away somewhat from the hands of the Bard Tsunami as the Alphas are swapping places into turn, turn 15? That is turn 15, and they've exposed themselves to Kuto on board with the Red Bull, right behind Cubinson, who is in 3rd place on the podium currently for Alfa Romeo. David Vinci really running away with this, but here comes Eggs from Kuto. He's going to have the battery and the DRS as well, but so is the Alfa Romeo alongside him as they go side by side down in towards turn 1. Who's going to have the outside? Inside for turn 1. Does it work? No, he goes a little bit deep. Opportunity for Cubinson to get alongside. Yes, he does. Into turn 2. No, again, Kuto goes deep, goes wide, and is forced to lose the position. Who's going to have DRS going into here? It's both of them. So it is side by side, a fair match battle. Remember, this is an equal performance as well. They are down to turn 3. Kuto hasn't been able to gain that position, back and sliding through turn 3. Opportunity into turn 4. Considers it, decides not to. In fact, almost crashes into the back of Cubinson. So he stays in 3rd place, does the Alfa Romeo. As let's look further back, 5th and 6th. It's Jakonka against Marquis, the two Mercedes teammates, doing battle and cutting corners. Now, not quite the corner you want to the line you want to take through that corner, simply because of the curbing. Wow. It used to be quite a flat curb, but now they made it a sausage curb. which is a shame because I used to love trying to cut that corner. Here he goes. Is he going to try and move into turn 15? It'd be a brave move if he did. But thinks the better of it. You've got to be careful for Conquer as well, further back in 5th place. He's only 8 tenths off this, but 8 tenths is enough for DRS. That is crucial, especially down this back straight. David Vincher 4.5 seconds ahead of Stan Polasek, first and second, but we go back on board with the Red Bull. Left, right, where's he making the move? He tried right for the move down in towards turn 1, went wide through there, went wide through turn 2, and then ultimately wide through turn 3 and lost the position. But here he goes up the inside. Can he make that work? Yes, he can. Does he even need out braking? He doesn't even need the braking zone, really goes a smidge wide, but still makes the corner with plenty of space. And that is how you make an overtake, ladies and gentlemen, down the front straight. If anybody needed an overtaking masterclass, we've seen what not to do, and now we've seen what to do. Presented by Kuto and Cubbinson. Down towards turn 3. We'll move into there. Silent goes fast as 1:42.85. I don't think fastest lap is dished out in sprint. I think that's just a main race affair. We've passed halfway as well in this sprint race. Let's see who's cracking, who's close, and who isn't. Jakonka's right in the back of this battle, so it's sort of a 3-car battle for the lead. As they head over the top of the hill down towards the castle. Careful for Marquis, Pinto and Araujo as well. They're not far off. This Araujo now finally in the point, so he's going to be able to get level. There goes Fizz. He's retired from this session. That's a safety car. Ooh, now this is going to be interesting. This is going to be very, very interesting. See if drivers decide to pit, decide not to pit. I can't wait to see what drivers decide to do. Regardless, lap 5 of 9. And we are under actual safety car. We've seen a virtual safety car, and now we've seen an actual safety car. Bird Maylander coming out to help these guys. Let's see what some of these guys do into turn 1. David Vincher doesn't come into the pit lane. Does Stan Polasek? No. Does Kuta? No. Does Cubbinson? No. I don't think we're going to be seeing any pits down this moment. I think realistically people would only do that for fastest lap. But here we go. Luke Bailey making a massive, massive gamble in 9th place. Remember, only top 8 get points from 8 all the way down to 1 in a sprint event. So he's going to be putting on a brand new set of tyres. And a new front wing from what it looks like as well. And hoping that that's enough to make a move and make a couple of positions. He's in 13th, so assuming we've got 2 laps of racing action, he could very easily pick up a couple of those positions. Lap 6 of 9 under safety car conditions. Remember, this is a sprint event. This isn't the only race we've got for you tonight. In about, what, 10 minutes time or so? We're going to have a half-distance race around this exact same venue. And I tell you what, if the last few laps is anything to go by, this could be a very, very, very good race. But one thing is clear, David Vincher, at least on the tyres he is on, he quite clearly has got the pace to beat the rest. He was 4.5 seconds ahead before the safety car was called. As they head down towards 16 for the 6th time in the sprint. 3 more runs through that corner to go. At least one of those is going to be under safety car conditions. Around here we do usually see the safety car come in quite late. It's usually sort of end of sector 2 that they say when the safety car is coming in, if the safety car is coming in. And the end of sector 2 is just before turn 16 down the front stretch, which is quite late just in general. Rocket Man's come into the pit lane, I assume, once again. Let's actually have a look at the pit stops. 2 for Tiza Cavero, 2 for Rocket Man, 1 for Luke Bailey, 1 for Little Mo, 1 for Silent. And then it's the rest done and dusted. Jaconka, biggest mover, up 11. Kuto up 6. Same for Pinto. Araujo up 7 after starting 15. A brilliant run for the Ferrari. I'm sure he's going to be happy with that, because if he can get himself from 8th on the main start, he can pick up a couple of positions off the start, and then that Ferrari that we've seen has got a hell of a lot of pace if he can keep it going. Remember, not only are they battling for points in this race, they're also battling for grid position in the main race, because whatever results are going to happen from this, that's going to transfer over to the main event. So it's not like they have now where it's 2 separate qualifyings. It's qualifying, and then that determines the sprint race order. The finish of that determines the main race order. I hope that makes sense. Giggs is also up 7 as well, something I didn't mention. Biggest drop is Silent down 11. Luke Bailey down 8, although that's partly due to him pitting Silent going deep into turn 4. Biggest mistake of the race so far. I'm sure there's a reason for it, but we didn't get to catch it. Safety car is officially coming in this lap, so David Vintra takes control of the safety car. Or he doesn't take control, he is the safety car. There you go. He's got quite a pacey start bit. He hasn't actually gone full pelt just yet. You remember, he can't do that until the safety car comes in, but there's a lot of pace being shown by that Alpine. When is he going to go full pelt? Is he going yet? He's not going yet. He's waiting for the last minute, and he's gone now. So it is David Vintra, Stat, Plasek, Kuto, 1, 2, and 3. But Cummins is going up the inside, and that's his teammate. He's tagged his teammate. Oh no! Goodness me, Kuto! Kuto, Stan Plasek, Marky involved in an incident. That's not going to be a safety car, because it's the last couple of laps, and the game doesn't give a safety car in the last couple of laps. Let's turn all that off. FFR Harry making moves on Jay Pinto. They're side by side going down towards turn 3 for the 8th time. One more run down there, 5 seconds for Little Mo for ignoring the yellow flag. And Luke Bailey's played an absolute gamble that's really paying, because he's also on the soft tyre. But he does have, what is that, how many penalty seconds of worth of penalty? 5. He's going to need to pull away like hell to get that. Top 2 are split by 7 cents. Second and third split by 2.5 seconds. So there's a lot of gap already generated by the top 2 on board there, with Araujo going into the castle section. I thought he was going to crash into there again. No, in fact, he's right on the rear diffuser of Jay Pinto ahead of him. Remember, this is only worth 1 point as the McLarens swap positions. Bailey ahead of Giggs, and there's Silent going up the inside as well. So he's made up another move, and he's putting in the points. Remember, top 8 get points in a sprint event. So they're heading down towards turn 16, and they're going to be starting the final lap in about 20 seconds time. Remember, no DRS as well, because no DRS for the first 2 laps. That's going to be a regulation that changes from next season. From what I've heard, that's going to be going down to just a single lap after safety car, after the start with DRS. And that is Jaconka making a move on David Vincha for the first time in this race. David Vincha is not leading the race. Can he get a good exit out of turn 1 to retaliate at the Mercedes? No, he can't, so he stays in second place, but he's going to be biting. He's going to be scratching for that lead. To lead from pole, to win from pole, is pretty unlikely around here in Baku. Doesn't happen often, but it could be happening today for Vincha. Into 3 and down towards turn 4. No moves, no opportunities really down into there. We've got 4-car train for 5th place, led by Araujo. Careful for Giggs, who's going to be able to join in sort of any second. He's going to be bringing Vitor Gois and Tiza Cavero along with him, as these guys are running nose to tail to tail to tail, essentially. Oh my word, I didn't think he was that close the Aston Martin ahead. Yellow's in the second sector. That's David Vintre. Oh no! No, 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 no. Not the day the Alpine would have wanted. He's out of the points. He started from pole position. And, oh, what an unlucky race for him. It's sort of unravelled since the safety car is not what he would have wanted. And Jakonka is on the way to a hell of a finish. We'll actually do we jump on board with him yet? Let's not jump on board with him just yet. On board with Silent ahead of him. Giggs and Pinto are really, really close. But I don't think there's going to be any moves down straight, at least for now. There we are. Let's jump forward a bit. That's Jakonka. He's crossing the line. He's going to win the sprint here at Baku, as there's further side by side. That is Jay Pinto. Oh my word, these guys are crashing out like crazy. So it's Cubinson, Harry finishing out that podium. Araujo clambers up to a 4th place finish. Pinto, Silent, Vitor Gois, and David Vintre gets himself in the points due to the penalties as well. So not quite the race that Alpine would have wanted. However, still a good result nonetheless. 4th place for Araujo. Driving the day to conquer easily. Yeah, started at the back, finishes at the front, 9 laps. Just shows how chaotic Baku can really be. So it is Jakonka at P1. Cubinson in P2. Harry in P3. The only reason I'm going through these slowly is so that I can write them down. Jay Pinto in 5th. Silent in 6th. That is Vitor Gois in 7th. And David Vintre in 8th. There we go, Vintre. And if you want more of that, we've got a half-distance sprint, full half-distance race coming up for you in a couple of minutes' time. But my word, what a final 2 laps. I don't think anybody could have asked for sort of anything else, really. It was a brilliant battle further back. Some very simple mistakes being made. And, well, you know, I'm actually sort of interested to see what people are going to be putting in DAS chat. There's bound to be some stuff. Let's see what's cracking. What the F is this track? After 8 laps, my rear mediums nearly died. Until then, I had massive pace. So David Vintre, disgustingly, I'm going to censor this, disgustingly crap track. Silent saying, yeah, both my rears were actually shot. Meanwhile, my front's just chilling. And it is a problem with Baku that, your back tyres do get shot, while your front tyres actually survive pretty well. Because again, it's more rear tyre wear than front. There's no sort of high front tyre wear corners. There's a couple down in the back and in the middle sector, but other than that, it's all really just slow corners, sort of stop and start kind of thing. So, right, Jakonka puts himself from 18 to 26 points, putting himself right in that midfield of the championship. Cubinson, I don't think he has any points on the board, so it's his first point on the board. 7 points, puts him currently in 16th place, but again, we need to try and calculate what's happening further down. Harry in 3rd place. Again, I don't think he's got any points on the board as yet, does he? Don't think he does. Doesn't look to have. So again, first point on the board, that's 6 points for the Haasman. Araujo goes from 83 to 88. Yeah, so that's a +4 on his championship teammate, championship rival. Jay Pinto in 16th at the moment, goes to 9 points alongside Neffel in 15th place. Silent picks up 3 points, so that puts him on 52. That takes him down. He's down by 36 off the championship lead, which is technically an increase, but not by as much as what it could have been. Vitor Gois, a reserve, finally gets his first points on the board. That is 2 points from the sprint. And David Vince picks up a solitary point. Again, gets his name on the board. We're going down. Here we go into turn 1. It's side by side once again. It's Harry making a move. It's Araujo also making a move down towards the first corner. I didn't even notice the lights had gone out. If I'm honest, that's David Vince also picking up a couple of positions, not happy with how the sprint went. He's losing a position to Giggs, almost losing a position to Jay Pinto, forcing him right up to the wall. It's 3 wide, going down in the further back. Ooh, is that Giggs outbreaking himself? No, but that's contact. That is Giggs being forced into the wall by David Vince. Goodness me, what a start, once again. And it's virtual safety car again. Are they going to sort of try and crash shoot into each other? No, but Vince crashes himself out. Goodness me. Trying to crash Giggs out as well from what it looked like, so not quite the best sportsman-like behaviour. Vince has left the session. I'm sure we're going to be getting something in chat. In the league, in the Discord chat. But oh my word, what a start. Whew. Remember, standard points now going out to the top 10, not the top 8. So it's a standard point system from here. Good grief, though. What an absolute, I don't want to say train wreck of a start, because it was actually pretty interesting. But, well, that's pretty interesting, to be fair. It's certainly going to be looked at by the stewards. Let's actually have a look at position changes. Little Mo up 5 after starting 12th. Great start for the Alpha Tauri. Stan Plastic also up 6 after the unfortunate incident that befell him at the back end of the sprint. The Fizz up 5 as well. He crashed out quite sort of in the middle of the sprint. There. Big losers. Well, there's not really any big losers other than Giggs and David Vince, because, well, they prompted this safety car, so it's probably them. But let's jump back up to the field. He's led since lap 1, and he's kept the lead out of the front row through turn 5 and 6. Remember seeing a glitch around this track where you can force the safety car into the wall at the castle section and the safety car just falls off. That's pretty funny. If I had it at hand, I'd show you, but I sadly don't. So I can't. Halfway through the second lap, and it's proven to be sort of almost identical to the sprint. An early incident brings out some sort of safety car. Pardon me, Harry in second place, Araujo in third, currently picking up 15 points, which would put his championship lead and advantage at 19 going into the second half of the season, which is, you know, around here it's actually a pretty handy advantage. It may not seem quite as, you know, much, but it's still a pretty handy advantage nonetheless. And remember, we're going into Qatar for next week, and actually that second half of the season looks pretty damn stacked. because it's LaSalle, Silverstone, which from my experience into commentary, Silverstone is a banger. Melbourne with a sprint on the 10th of March. And then it's Vegas on the 17th, Zandvoort on the 24th, and then Abu Dhabi on the 31st. Worth also mentioning that after this week, we've got a week's break, so like mid-season break. So you do get a break from me, you get a week off, but I'm sure these guys are going to miss racing through here. Let's see what else is cracking. If anybody's got any moments in chat or anything they want me to bring up to ask or anything like that as well, please do let me know. Lap 3 of 26, heading into turn 7. You can just see the guys going through there. They should be in much more of a train than that, but it's sort of broken up between 4th and 5th. So Jakonka's led from turn 1. That's Luke Bailey there, bringing up the rear, having pitted just a couple of seconds ago, as they've come up through the castle section. I imagine safety car is going to be coming in this lap. See what happens. Second sector triggers at the end of, or just before the corner. You can see in the background the left-hander, turn 16. Is it coming in? Yes, it is. So Jakonka effectively now becomes safety car. And the big question is, does he do the same thing as David Vinci? No, he doesn't. He slows it down, takes his time, forces everybody to slow down, slow up quite a bit. Are we going to... I thought for a second we were going to see a too wide sort of restart kind of thing. As FFR Harry is staying right behind him. Araujo sort of slightly to the side so that he can capitalise and see what's happening. And I thought he's going to go for it. He's gone for it now. So it is Jakonka, Harry and Araujo top 3. Kubinson, Silent, J Pinto, Mo, Vitor Gois, TZ Kivera and Stan Polasek. Your big points scorers, but on board with Araujo. Can he make a move around the outside of turn 1? No, but Harry's trying to go up the inside of turn 1 on Jakonka. No, that's battle side by side further back. Ooh, I thought Lil Mo's going to be able to go up the inside of J Pinto, not to be. Ooh, tries again. Again, not close enough for that to stick. See if anything's cracking further up. This battle here for first legs. Araujo, he's going to go left inside of turn 3. Ooh! Oh, that's contact there. That's Jakonka. That sign's been taken out as well. And that is a full safety car. Oh my word. Right. Let's breathe. Because I know cautions breed cautions, safety cars breed safety cars, and all that sort of jazz, but let's just breathe. Araujo dive bombs Jakonka, spins him around, and then chaos ensues from there, is essentially what I saw. A couple of penalties were dished out for Kuto and Kubinson. Let's actually see what exactly they were for. Severe collision with FFR Harry for Kubinson, and severe collision with Stan Polasek for Kuto. Stan Polasek has got terminal damage and isn't going to be able to finish this event. As we see the safety car come out once again. And Kuto has retired from this session as well. Don't know if that's... Has he forcefully crashed himself or something? Possibly. Or has he accidentally run deep or something? I'm not fully sure. But he's no longer in this race. So from 18, we're down to 14 already. As Araujo's first person in the pit lane, coming off a set of hards. Unusual strategy decision, because you're also going to end up in the midfield, which, as we've seen, isn't exactly a place you want to be on a safety car restart around here. However, it might be a strategy for all we know, so time will simply tell. Lap 5 of 26, we're under a second safety car already. Yes, second safety car already. Chaos at this very corner once again has caused the safety car to come out for a second time in this race, third time in this event, because don't forget, of course, we did have a 9-lap sprint, which Jakonka, currently in second place, won ahead of Kubinson, who's pitted and is in 13th, and Harry, who's currently in the lead, picks up the lead after Araujo went on possibly the biggest dive bomb I've seen for quite some time. Worked on one car, not on the second, and then chaos ensues out of turn 3, as it often very much does. But we're looking forward to the front of the field. We're probably going to get at least one more lap of safety car action, and then it's going to come in once again. Not a major incident, so we're probably just going to get 2 laps under the safety car, but we shall see. Do love a good bit of squash. Anybody coming into the pit lane? Yeah, thought that was. Rocket Man comes into the pit lane. His pace hasn't been, I'm going to say it nicely, his pace hasn't been great. So I think he's probably partly pitting just to get himself out of whatever's probably going to happen this time next lap. But then also just so he can stay out of trouble and stay out of everybody's way, which is, you know, that's fair enough. His qualifying pace wasn't quite on the money, shall we say. So it's perfectly understandable that he's going to want to pit and come out. Just... There we go. I'm just chatting with Silent. He's not really sure what happened there on the exit of turn 3, which I'm not exactly sure what happened either. All I saw was Araujo spinning Jakonka out. Was it Jakonka? Yes, trying to spin Jakonka out, and then many cars and many incidents happening as a consequence of that. Which, again, we're in Baku, that's not quite exactly a surprise. But it's interesting to see how these guys battle constantly. Here we go, safety car is once again in this lap, and this time it is FFR Harry managing to take the run out of the safety car because he is in the lead. Oh, hello, swapping positions, shouldn't be. There we go, giving it back. Thankfully Bod Tsunami is AI, which I'm not, is that meant to be like that? Yeah. Okay. That didn't help. Alright, cool. On board with Jakonka, when does Harry go? Does he go early like David Bintra did in the sprint? Does he go late like Jakonka did just a couple of laps ago. When does he go? He's leaving it quite late, actually. Not quite as late as Jakonka, but there he goes. So it is Jakonka in second, Harry in first, Vitor Gois in third. We're going on board with with the Fizz down in towards turn one. This is an easy move to make, but not quite alongside, can't make it work. Araujo and Luke Bailey side by side, massive respect by these guys in towards turn two. Araujo's got the move, has it got it done and dusted? Yes, he does, but then opportunity for Luke Bailey to try and retaliate down in towards turn three. Are we going to see chaos at turn three again? I hope that we don't, because I don't want to see another safety car again for a little while. Giggs going around the outside, at least trying around the outside again. That's contact! Giggs been spun. Giggs been spun, that's the word I was looking for. Cubinson being an actor there in that one. As Vitor Gois is dropping a couple of positions as well. He's had a spin through turn five. Not sure if he was helped or not. But there's battle here, side by side, going now towards turn seven. Difficult to make a move. Lock up there from the Fizz. As into the castle section, it's all relatively calmed down, at least a little bit, at least for now. Who knows what we're going to see in a few laps time, but it is Harry, Jakonka and Markey 1, 2 and 3. Then it's Ferrari 4 and 5. Looking on, I thought he was going to go for it on Markey, front end twitching there for Araujo. We go on board with the Ferrari down towards turn 16, and then Ferrari do seem to have the pace down that front stretch, so we'll see if he can make that work, or do the Mercedes have more? It's a virtual safety car now as well. What's the virtual safety car been called for? Is that for a bicycle front wing, or has something happened? Or that might be for the front wing of Tiza Cavero, actually. Drive-through penalty for Giggs for speeding under VSC. That's helpful for the man who's currently in last. And there goes Tiza Cavero. Just like that. Performing a Lance Stroll, but way, way more safe. Goodness me. A lot of stuff happening in the race tonight. And there goes the kart, and there go the green lights. So we're back under green conditions just like that. I wish F1 Instincts was just cleared just like that, but unfortunately not to be. On board with Araujo, he's right behind the car of Markey. Markey riding the curbs, careful. Don't want to be doing that through there. The sausage curbs are brutal. He's going to go inside of 5, outside of 6. Can Markey keep it alongside? Yes, he can. Down towards turn 7 is an opportunistic overtaking move, but he doesn't even need the braking zone. A great drive out of that corner. He's back on the podium. Wow, what a move. I thought he clipped the wall there, did Markey, because he's carrying so much damn speed going into the castle section. But again, he's doing pretty well to keep the Fizz and Luke Bailey at bay. In fact, we've gone on board with Luke Bailey. Yells in the first sector, that's for Giggsy. He just gone deep, looks to have done. So we'll go back on board with the top 6. Mo and Pinto side by side through turn 16, the final real corner on this calendar, on the circuit even. Nicely done there from Mo. He's going to have a position. DRS is activated from the next lap, just like this. Or it should be just like this, unless it's already been activated. Well, we've seen a little of the fastest laps tick through. The DRS been activated. There we go. Goodness me. Just trying to make it look cool, but clearly the game didn't like that. On board with Araujo. He's going to use DRS to the right-hand side. He's going to make that move on Jakonka, and he's back on the podium. Well, he already was on the podium, but he's on the second step. And he's going to be pushing for that first step. Contact with the wall there, so possibly picking up a little bit of damage. Yells in the first sector. That's for little Mo, as he ran deep into turn 3. Might well have done. He dropped a couple of positions because of exactly that. Mercedes are running toe-to-toe, first, second, third and fourth. Split by, give or take, 3 seconds. Somewhere around about that. That's pretty damn tight. Lap 9 of 26.18 to go. Harry Araujo, Jaconka 1, 2, 3. Jaconka not really in the championship battle, but Marquis very much could be a factor at the end of this race. He can pick up a lot of points on someone like Araujo. Remember Zettany, who's leading going into the event today. He's not racing tonight for reasons unbeknownst to us, but I'm sure there's a reason. So we hope to see him in 2 weeks' time at round 7 in Qatar. Meanwhile, on board with Araujo, can he make a move on FFR Harry? This is for the lead, this. And it's J Pinto retired from the session. Yes, he has. Crashed into the wall again. Yep. Oh, my word. Baku's taking a lot of prisoners down. Christ. I know it's not particularly the easiest track, right? But still, you'd think these guys have had a week's opportunity to practice, do a couple races, and then good grief. But there's a reason why I don't race. This is one of them. The fact that I can't really keep pace with these guys. Anyway. J Pinto has left the session, so that's it for his race today, and we're down to 12. Is that a front wing missing for the Fizz? No, I thought there was. And it's a full safety car for the third time in this race. Already 10 laps in out of 26. To be fair, that's not too bad. I have seen worse. One of the other leagues that I commentate on has had 4 safety cars within 10 laps because Monza. But, you know, we digress. But first and second are still split by, well, not very much under normal circumstances. But of course the safety car has come out now, so the gap does look to have grown a little bit there.
Now be rolling on 18-inch wheels, far larger than 13-inch wheels. These larger tyres were designed to reduce overheating.
Starting lap 11 of 26.16 to go. This is proving to be an absolutely chaotic race. Ooh, I thought Araujo was going to try and do a Sebastian Vettel there, but not to be. Luke Bailey takes the lead on track. And he's going to see, let's see who else pits and or doesn't pit. See who's come into the pit lane. Araujo's come out. FFR Harry has also just come out of the pit lane. Chakonga has. Rocketman hasn't, but again, we've seen him previously pit on the second lap. Fizz has come out as well, as you see on the tyre front. Most have put on a set of hards, but there's a couple fresh mediums there for Chakonga from Marquis. Also a stray set of softs there for Little Mo. Interesting. I suppose you've got to use them at some point, innit? But it's more of a case of when do those rears get absolutely shot? Because as we've heard from the other drivers, it is mostly the rears that get shot around here, not the fronts, which is typical in most circuits. I'm just seeing some of these guys say, Stan said I couldn't do anything about it, just 2 cars collide in front of me, no time to react. Silence says this is exactly what happened to me, even braked very early, still couldn't do anything. Well, I don't want to say it's your fault, and I'm not going to say it, because it's back. Crazy stuff happens around here all the time, so it's pretty standard to see mistakes like that. Giggsy has gone into the pit lane. He's already served his drive-through now as well, so he's back. On track normally, as it were. it's Luke in the lead ahead of Harry, Araujo, and Conquer your top four as these guys keep going down the massive front stretch. That is one of the busiest highways here in Baku. Grand Tour connoisseurs will remember that straight also from the taping with where they tried to do a drag race in the rain, where Jez had a two-wheel drive car, Aston DBS, I think, against two four-wheel drive cars in the wet, which was interesting to say the least. Let's put it that way. The Fizz, again, Fizz is a reserve for today. He's doing very, very well, doing very nicely. Down in 5th place. Did qualify in 3rd, lost a lot of positions due to crashing out in the sprint, but has since then been able to pick up a few positions up to 5th, as you can see. Partly through safety car, partly through just general stuff, really. And obviously, you know, making passes. So there's a couple of drivers which are here, and if you're thinking, how are you a reserve? Just like Fizz. I imagine, not necessarily for this season, but for next season, I can fully imagine him trying to make a play for a full-time seat, if of course he has got the time, which I can't guarantee. Well, PGS is, of course, as always, looking for drivers. So if you have got any, if you're wanting to join, or if you've got anything that if you'd like to join, I'm going to pop the link in the chat now. And feel free to join. There's I don't want to say too much, but there's possible rumours of a 3rd tier happening very soon, possibly for next season. So we'll see what happens on that front. I don't obviously want to get people too excited. It could happen, but again, don't want to get ahead of ourselves on that front. Meanwhile, we don't want to get ahead, but we've still got 14 laps of a race left to go, which has provided chaos and carnage at near enough every single damn corner. 3rd safety car so far. Plenty of incidents, plenty of stuff I'm sure to talk about post-race. I imagine there's going to be incident reports upon incident reports. It's going to be messy for the stewards for later. I don't envy the stewards tonight. There's going to be a lot of reports, which really is a shame. But, you know, we move, we'll manage. Going through up towards the castle section. Here we go. Tiza Cavero is going to be blessing us with what happened there. I can't really say half of that. Screw me, I have no luck. There we go. Censored it. Boom. Smash that. Listen, it's unfortunate, mate, but what can you do? I suppose is the only thing that I can say to that. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Yeah, deal? Alright, cool. Safety car is coming in this lap after what feels like quite a long time, actually. It feels like it's been quite a little while. On board with FFR Harry. And again, 3rd different person in this race. 4th different person across the sprint as well. is leading a safety car restart. Where does Luke go? Harry went late. Conker went slightly earlier. David Wincher went very early. Luke Bailey went sort of the same place Conker really did. But we'll go on board with the man himself. He's currently in 4th place. It's Luke Bailey, F4 Harry, Araujo, and then Conker. But can he make a move on Araujo? Get himself up towards the podium place. He's going to go around the outside of turn 1. Ooh, careful. He knows what he can do. Remember, Conker was spun out. And that brought out the second safety car of the race. Spun about by Araujo, which is an unfortunate situation to be in. On board with Harry, going to make a move down into turn 3 for the lead. No, careful for Conker and Araujo further behind. Those guys have got a lot of pace, as we've seen in China and in Italy. Is it side by side also with Harry and Conker outside of 5, becomes inside of 6. Can he make it stick? He does so far, but then it's down towards turn 7. He might have hit the wall. And then is Harry going to lose the position to Araujo as well? Yes, he does. So in the space of about the same amount of corners, he's lost the podium. He's been forced into the wall by Araujo. Goodness me, that was an unusual move. Certainly going to be looked at least from my opinion. The Fizz also getting past. So Harry's down from 2nd to 5th in the space of about 4 or 5 corners. Unlucky there for the Haas, but we'll go back to the front of the field. Nicely done there from Conker, and then exit out of turn 16 is absolutely crucial. That's exactly what's happened there. Let's look further back. Giggsy and Rocketman quite far off the back of the field, but we're going on board with Markey in 7th place. Ahead of him is Kubinson in 6th place. He had a decent qualifying, bit of a mess sprint, but he's managed to be able to get, well, mess sprint is 2nd, clearly. Markey's got up the inside of one car. Can he get up the inside of another? He's giving it a go, goes full Daniel Ricciardo, and he's alongside going in towards the 2nd corner. Is he going to get past? He sort of locks the tyres. Harry forced into the wall there, still side by side, but I think he's got to drive. Yes, he does. He's going to get ahead, and it's side by side for the back. Kubinson and Little Mo for 7th place. We can see him just further back. Is Harry going to force himself up the inside? Yes, he does. A little bit of contact there, but Mo gets ahead of Kubinson, and Markey defends very well from Harry. So 5, 6, 7, 8, Markey, Harry, Mo and Kubinson. Very nicely done by that pack of 4 drivers. A lot of respect given. Not quite so much can be said for these top 4. Araujo's sort of, you know, forcing his way through a couple of the moves we've seen so far tonight. But there's still plenty of time to make moves for some of these drivers. Araujo in 3rd place would again currently have a 19-point advantage going into the second half of the season, which with a week's break, it does look to me that, you know, Araujo is going to have the momentum and the advantage going into that second half, which is unfortunate for Zettini because he's had some stellar performances of his own. It's just that he's, you know, not hit, which is a shame, of course, for that Ferrari. On board with Araujo, got well past the car of Luke Bailey ahead of him. Is Fizz also going to get close enough to get past? No, but braking gets a little bit closer. Mo ahead of Harry. Ooh, a great run through turn 1 for the Fizz. And going down towards turn 2, boxed in is Luke Bailey, but the outside works in terms of defence. Fizz is going to have the DRS, but so is Luke. And then careful for Markey further back. We'll go on board with the Mercedes. He's going to have a great view down into turn 3, and the Fizz is in 3rd place. So it's Mercedes, Ferrari, Ferrari. Haven't we heard that before? Topping out the car there is Markey going down towards turn 5 and 6 for the 16th time in this race. Of course, not this event as a whole, probably about 25th under racing conditions. Locking his tyres is Luke Bailey, but still keeps it on the good stuff. Nice camera angle there on exit of the castle. Is the Fizz going to get past his teammate now is the question. As Giggs gets himself up into the points ahead of the Bard Tsunami. Currently down in 11th place. Qualified well, but then has since not really been seen because AI. And so can't really say very much on board with the Fizz. Markey and Luke Bailey are battling further back, quite a lot further back actually. But here comes the Fizz. He's going to go up the inside into turn 1, and he's leading behind Jakonka. 2.2 seconds down on Jakonka ahead of him, who's currently, again, not really in the championship fight, but a win will certainly propel him further up that field, and that's exactly what he would have wanted. Because currently, let me remind you, Jakonka is in. Let me find out. Jakonka's in 13th place with 18 points. 18 plus 25 is 43, I think. And that's going to put him definitely sort of in the top couple of spots come the end of the race. Alright, pressured by Markey in the back, bottom step of the podium battle this. So he's going to be trying to push himself up. 9.5 to go through the castle section over the top of the hill. Nicely kept there by Markey. Ooh, taking as many liberties with track limits as he physically can. But he's keeping it within the white lines, which is exactly what you need to do here in F1 into turn 15. Nicely done. Braking marker spot on. We're on board with the Mercedes through turn 16. Nice. 15 even, 16 there. Oh yeah, 17, 18. I'm getting my numbers mixed up. 18 and 19, and then is he going to be able to get past him? Yes, he does. I don't think he even needs DRS. No, he doesn't, but he gets it anyway, just like that. He's going to pull away a couple more tenths as well. Or is he on board with Araujo down towards turn 1? Again, a little too far back to make a move, especially considering that Markey does have DRS ahead of it. It will be difficult to make a move on. Into turn 1, 2. Contact there. That is Vital Guys and Giggsy. They're going to lose a lot of time, but they were quite far back anyway, so no real sort of major problems have been generated further back. Let's look. 4-car battle. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4-car battle. That is for 5th place. After an unfortunate incident there with Raho is Harry. Giggsy goes deep in towards turn 3. He's back on track now, so all is well here at the land of Azerbaijan. Over the top of the hill, running nose to tail is Little Mo and Luke Bailey. Bailey just about keeping his car on the inside. The car in deep into the castle section, but it's all okay now. The car is back underway. Through turn 16. Exit here, of course, crucial. Long straight here. Yellow's in the second sector. Is that for Vitor Gois? Possibly. I think he went deep in towards turn 15. Side by side with Luke Bailey and Little Mo. They're going down the back straight. Could he also lose a position to Kubbinson? Yes, because he's gone into the pit lane. We'll see what Luke Bailey comes and puts on in terms of a set of tyres. Goes into the McLaren garage. Where's he going? Mediums to softs. I think he's going to run those to the end now. 7 laps on the softs is pretty likely. Oh, my laptop's going on. Are you going on power saving? How much have you got? 20%, you'll be fine. He's come out of the pit lane, but Rocket Man has also now gone into it. He's going to be putting on a front wing and a set of softs till the end. So 7 or 8 laps on those tyres, he will be absolutely fine. Ooh, smoke there from the back of Marky, braking into turn 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11, just like that. That's how fast these corners go here at Baku. Blinking, you'll miss it really round here. But let's look at, yeah, let's look at little Mo. He's 9/10ths down on the back of Harry in front of him. Of course, also doesn't just race for PGS, also occasionally does ERC as Harry clatters the wall, so it's an opportunity for little Mo to get closer. He's closer by half a second, and that's exactly what he needed. He was 1.2 seconds ahead, behind going into sort of turn 14. Now he was less than half a second away, going through 17 and 18 and 19, and now he's closing like a man possessed. He's going to have DRS now as well. He's not using the battery because he's quite low on battery, but so is Harry, and Mo goes into the pit lane, so he's pitting on a fresh set of tyres, one would presume. Let's see what Mo picks for in terms of tyres. Is that another set of softs or is that a set of mediums? I can't tell from there. Another set of softs, and there's Luke Bailey who's going to come out ahead. It's Luke Bailey's got the drive out of turn 1. Is he going to have it down towards turn 2? Yes, he does. Little Mo forced to slot in behind the McLaren. So that's a brilliant undercut there done by Luke Bailey. But Mo's going to have DRS down towards turn 3. He's going to get the move done. Or is he? It's still side by side. Luke Bailey hangs it around the outside to try and defend. Is he going to make that work? No, he doesn't. He's forced to stay behind in 9th place. 9th place is still points. Remember, it is a standard top 10 points system. It's pretty much the same as in F1. 7 to go. And we're on board with Marky. Ooh, that's the Fizz. Fizz had a spin. Going on top of the curbs. Is that front wing damage as well? I think Marky's lucky for that not to be front wing damage, because my word, that was close to being a much more major contact than it actually was. But let's go back to Kubiton and Araujo. So Araujo dropped down to 5th place, and he's being hounded by the sprint runner-up with side by side. He's going to have the drive, he's going to have the DRS as well. Marky's gone into the pit lane, so is that actual front wing damage? Quite possibly. Or is that just time for a new front wing? No, that is actual front wing damage. So Kubiton goes up to 4th place. New tyres working very nicely and very well for him. The question is, who can last till the end now out of these front guys? Fizz probably could. Harry probably could. Bard Tsunami probably will. The one I'm not too sure about is Jagonka. I know he's 10 seconds up on Fizz, which is in 2nd place, but beyond that, would he want to give that position up? I think he might just keep them and hope to God that they don't cause any problems in the last lap or dos, which will be very unfortunate for him if he does. However, of course, again, as we've seen a few times, even just in this event with PGS, absolutely anything can happen. If you want extra doses of PGS, don't worry. In 2 weeks' time is when we're back. Next week is sort of like a mid-season break. But next week we are going to be back and better than ever. Ooh, contact there with the wall. That's Kubiton getting past Harry. Is that Harry's front wing damage? That is Harry's front wing damage. So he's going to have to pit in for a fresh set of tyres, regardless of whether he wants to or not, because he's not going to be able to carry the pace that he needs throughout the rest of this race. Which is, again, unfortunate for Harry, because he's had so much of it throughout the race so far. Or is he just going to keep going? Or is this just a visual thing and he's actually got the pace? We'll see what happens. Because to me, he doesn't look like he's got a front wing. But then again, there's not very many high downforce required corners. So it could just be that. But in fact, oh my word, he's going to try and make a move. Blocked up well by Kubinson ahead of him. So, oh my word. Could he actually make this without a front wing? I wonder. We will come back and check on you. Let's look at 6th and 7th. That's Tsunami. Of course, he is AI, so he's going to get past very easily by Luke Bailey. But that AI, whatever difficulty that AI is, he's shown some resistance. Just in general. So, you know, it's very interesting to see. I'm curious what level the AI is actually at. Because it's a very strong level, and then on board with Marky, he's going to sort of sail through. Not sail past, sail through, just like that. With Tsunami, he's going to drop down to 8th place. I assume that's not going to be worth any points for the Alpine man, but regardless, it's still going to be pretty funny. Anyway, does Harry still not have that front wing? Still doesn't. Let's have a look at... Can we look at his lap times quick? Let's have a look at his lap times. Yeah, they've not been... How fast was this one? Yeah, they're progressively getting slower. Which... Marky's got a fastest 42.9, so that's again going to push himself up a little further up the championship field, because he is sort of a championship contender. He's not very far off. He's still battling with Luke Bailey with 4 to go. It's a good run through turn 3 down towards the 4th corner. He's still sort of just about keeping him close. Ooh, poor run there through 6 and 5, and it's an opportunity down towards turn 7, but again Marky lifts off. It's difficult to pull off a move down towards turn 7. It's sort of 2 into 1 there, doesn't go. He's through the castle section, 23rd time in this race, 32nd time overall under racing conditions. It's nicely done there by the pair of them, but it's an opportunity missed there for Marky. I think had the old curbs have been there, then we might have possibly seen something like it, like a move down there, but not to be. On board with the Mercedes. I should go on board with the McLaren. Do they have battery? They've both got a decent little bit, but they haven't really got very much at all. We've just entered 3 to go on board with Marky. Harry's going to lose more positions, I imagine, because he's just lost 1 to Mo. But he's regained it. I wonder what's been happening down there. Marky's got ahead of Luke Bailey. Down into turn 1. Ooh, almost contact there. I know he's got less downforce, but my word, does he have to brake early. The thing is, he's going to have the pace, because he hasn't got that front wing. He hasn't got the extra downforce. So he's going to have the extra effect of basically a useless drag reduction system, but Mo's going to get the inside of 3. Harry's going to try and hang around the outside, actually manage. Inside of 4, he has to brake early, but Harry forced himself in, and it's a good attempt at a defence, but it has unfortunately not quite worked out well for the Haas behind him. So I wonder now, how many positions is Harry going to lose? He's showing a damn good job of defending without a front wing. Harry seemingly thinking, yeah, it's not worth me hitting for a fresh front wing because it's going to take too much time, which is honestly fair enough, mate. Through turn 12, Marky gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. First one in this race, which, considering how tight the circuit can be, is a little bit of a surprise. Into turn 15. Nicely done, even especially for someone with a front wing. Into 16. Nicely held, and then it is foot to the floor from here. He might lose a decent bit of time going through these kinks. Doesn't lose as much time as we thought, and then Marky's just going to really sail past him, as we can see just there. But now the question is, who's going to have DRS? Where is DRS detection? Well, they're still side by side. My word, he's got the pace. He's going to be outbraked into turn 1, but good grief. Harry's got the pace even without DRS. Wow. What a defense by the Haas. I'm sorry, but that deserves drive of the day in and of itself. Front wing down. Downforce minimal. And yet he's still defending like a madman. There's probably not very many circuits where you could do that. Side by side, that's Luke Bailey making his way past. Yet, in this section, sort of, you've got no hope in terms of trying to defend or trying to attack. It's going to be very, very difficult for you if you try to do that without a front wing. A lap and a half to go. We'll go on board with the leader, Jagonka. Out of the final sort of real corner, because the rest is just sort of kinks. The left, the right, and then the other right. Here we go, just like that. And then it is foot to the floor from here. And then it is just one final lap, one more circumference of this circuit left to go. We'll jump down, further down. Rauho is in 8th place, right behind FFR Harry. Harry's got the pace down this front stretch, even without DRS. So it's going to be very interesting to see who's going to get ahead. Rauho does have the DRS, but is Harry going to have the pace? No, not quite. And he's going to have to brake early for turn 1. As Araujo goes wide, clatters the curbs as well. He's going to fall. That is a forceful defense from Araujo. Wow. That is, in my eyes, slightly dodgy. But, you know, we move. Can Harry get close enough? No, I don't think he can. Ooh, goodness me. That is understandably irritating for Harry. But again, we've seen already one instance of revenge that didn't work, and we've seen another exactly like it. And both drivers are now going to be running in the points, which is, oh my word, a hell of a race tonight. Rauho is, well, whatever advantage he had, that's going to be minimised. 4 plus 4, so it'll be plus 8. Going into Lusail in 2 weeks' time. But I think he's led from lap 1. He's had a bit of a... he had a brilliant sprint. And he's going to win the PGS Tier 1 race here at Azerbaijan. Giggsy picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. The Fizz reserve, brilliant run in second place. Kubinson finished second in the sprint, third in the race. I'm sure he's going to be very, very happy with that. Markey and Little Mo. Little Mo picks up 4th place. Markey 5th. Luke Bailey comes to the line in 6th place. The AI of Bard Tsunami is in 7th, and then Araujo in 8th. Vitor Gois in 9th. Giggsy picks up the last point spot in 10th, and then Rocketman in 11th place. Cookie, I think the words you're looking for is attempted murder, because he did himself dirty in the process. Jakonka retired from the session, which is weird. I imagine Jakonka is still going to take the lead on that one. Fizz, yeah. It's for me, it's the Fizz, and then I was going to put Harry, but not after that move that he made. But I think it does technically say, right, race results. It does technically say the Fears, Kubins, and Little Mo 1, 2, and 3, but Jagonka actually finished in the lead. Well done to everybody tonight. Hell of a race, hell of a sprint, hell of a qualifying session. I do genuinely hope you all enjoyed that. In the meantime, thank you very much for listening along, coming along. My name was Casper, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time, because it's time for a little mid-season break. So we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye-bye.